This story comes from one of my more recent D&D games. My players were playing The Lost Mine of Phandelver. The players were Emong the Gnome, a forest gnome fighter, Scarlet Never, the Tiefling Warlock, Ass Puncher the Offensive, the Human Barbarian, and the DMPC Mundus Moonbeam, the Half-Elf Ranger. They were on their way to Cragmaw Castle to find Mundern Rockseeker, the dwarf who had hired them. Along the way, they stumbled across an old lumber mill in which they found the remains of another adventurer. On the corpse of said adventurer, they found a hand-drawn map with some nearby points of interest, one of which was a wizard's tower. They then decided to take a detour and check out the tower, as it was along the way anyway. They followed the map for some time and eventually found the tower, built in a large clearing in the middle of the forest. From the outside, the building seemed abandoned. The windows were dark and vacant. One of the upstairs windows was broken, allowing a lone curtain to blow softly in the breeze. So naturally, the players were a bit cautious. They went up to the front doors of the building and knocked. They received no answer as the doors slowly swung open. They peered inside, seeing a large foyer with a large red rug covering the ground. Hanging from the ceiling over the rug was a large chandelier, which swung slowly and eerily. Suddenly, a strange feeling washed over them. Undeterred, they pressed on, seeking the probably pretty rad treasures inside. As soon as the party enters, the large chandelier hanging from the ceiling mysteriously gives way, falling on some of the party's members, Emong and Ass Puncher. After this, they were pretty on edge the entire time. They went through the rooms slowly and methodically, first entering a small reading room, then passing through a large library, then entering a small bedroom. Eventually, the party makes their way up to the top floor of the tower, which was a small turret overlooking the surrounding forest. Standing here, next to a large telescope, was a strange humanoid creature staring back at them with a large green eye, mouth drooling and agape. The creature was a Nothic, which is basically a wizard whom in some manner was transformed into this freaky hell beast, whose only desire is human flesh and potent magical power. I had planned it that the Nothic was going to make a constitution save in order to retain his sanity and plead with the party to help him. However, he failed this save and began to attack the party. After a tough fight, the Nothic was slain, and the party, while slightly beaten, was victorious. After the creature was killed, it morphed into its former self, an old human wizard. What the party didn't know at the time was that this wizard had attempted to make a deal with a demon for more potent magical power. However, this deal went south, and the demon cursed the wizard, turning him into the grotesque form of the Nothic. After the wizard's death, the party started to make their way back down the tower, only to find it had become infested with fiends. The party cut their way through the horde, making their way back to the entrance. Finally, they made it back to the foyer, the front door still open as they ran towards it. Then suddenly, the large rug in the center of the room springs to life and envelops Emong. Emong began to struggle as the rug began to strangle him. The rest of the players, seeing this, sprang into action. The first to go was Scarlet. She made an attack with her hand axe, smacking the rug with a decent attack. Then Ass Puncher swings his mighty great axe at the rug, hitting it with a powerful blow. But what the party didn't know was the damage was also being taken by both the rug and Emong. As Ass Puncher finished his attack, the party noticed the lump inside of the rug was no longer moving. It seemed as though Ass Puncher's attack had also knocked Emong unconscious. The party was then faced with a dilemma: keep attacking the rug and risk killing Emong, or let the rug finish him off. In the end, the players killed the rug, and unfortunately Emong in the process. There was nothing they could really do. After this, they buried Emong in front of the terrible wizard tower, and were about to take a short rest when they heard a girlish scream come from inside the tower. But that is a story for another day. And that's the story of how I killed one of my players with a rug. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and if you did, please like the video, comment on what I could do better, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next adventure.